Hello. Happy week 35, I believe. I believe we're at week 35. Happy Friday. We have a whole week to catch up on. I got super busy this weekend. If this is my first weekly vlog you are watching, I typically start my vlogs on Sundays. Saturday or Sunday, depending on what's going on. And then I try to do an update at least every day, maybe every other day during the week, ending on Fridays. This past weekend, I got super busy Sunday night. And then I ended up going over to my brother's house to play board games for a few hours. And then when I got home, I had some last minute chores because going over to his house was last minute. So I didn't have all of my normal time to do my Sunday chores. So then I was working on that, and then it was late and I just went to bed. And then every other day this week, I've been really trying to focus on reading to finish out things I had going on in August. Updating some of my digital journal situations that have been going on. So I just never got around to filming, which is fine. It was a little bit nice to kind of have the week off from filming, even though it wasn't intentional. So, but we have the week to catch up on. So, some of these books I will touch base on are for my 24-hour reading vlog. I'm not sure when it will go up yet, but when it is up, I will link it up above. So definitely check that out. But let's talk about books, and then we will go from there. So for what I think I had started it on Friday, so I might have touched base with it, or with you on it. I can't remember if I did or not. This is what happens when we film things a week later. But I did start, and over last weekend, I did finish Resisting Maxub by Victoria Aveline. Finally, this is book 6 in Clickania. Book 7 just dropped. So I needed to read book 6 to get to book 7. I have the arc for book 7. But I'm not feeling as pressured for it because I know arcs are like a big thing for people to read them before it comes out. But I'm not feeling as pressured because the reason I get her arcs is because I am a patron member. So while it's nice to have the arc and get things early, I feel like I'm paying for the arc. So what I'll probably do since the book is out is read the KU version. So she at least gets the page turns, even though it's like less than a cent or something crazy right now. But I'm going to do that so that she can, But anyway, I'm going to try to pick up book 7. But I gave this one 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed it. This is Meg and Maxu's book. Like I said, I talk about this in my 24-hour vlog. So I'm just going to say I enjoyed it. Victoria Aveline is one of my favorite sci-fi authors. I can't wait for more in this series. What's fun about this one is we get to learn more about the actual planet, Clickania. And while we don't go in depth to different areas, we've visited a lot new places in here and got like little brief touches of the different cultures that are on this planet. So that was really fun to expand Clickania out of the couple cities that we've only seen so far. So for reading challenges, I applied this to for Gildathon. I read this before Ruling Six Sand came out, which is book 7. So this counted as the latest published in an ongoing series. For 2023, I applied this to for 2023 Summer Musical Tour. You can tell I haven't done this in a while. I'm like, what are my little shorthands for? I am in the bonus section, and I use this for the bonus just for the main group, Super Junior. I was like, I think that'll fit because not only is Victoria Aveline one of my favorites, We have a huge cast of characters, both alien and human, and they go kind of like I mentioned to a bunch of different cities here, and I just thought that was perfect for just Super Junior as a whole because there's a lot of different personalities. The original group is 13 members plus 2 if you count the 2 extras added in for Super Junior M. And I just love them to pieces, and you know, they do a lot of world tours, a lot of Asia tours, and it's a huge cast of characters, and you know, they're also very supportive of their label mates, and I definitely was like, no, I gotta do this for Suju because it gives me some of the same like endorphins when I read a Victoria Abilene book that I get when I listen to Super Junior, just any of their music. So I had to use it for the whole group. For Read the Season, I applied this to the letter A in holiday number 3. For the mini Summer of Swoon, I applied this to indie author. For the Romance Readathon, this garnered me 425 points. And then for the Magical Readathon, this ended up being able to cover all 6 prompts for the Impling summoning, which was super fun. The 6 prompts were between 400 and 450 pages. An author you've read before, blue on the cover, released this or last year. This came out at the end of 2022. I'm missing 2 more. Oh, one letter appears twice. I'm missing the final one. I'm trying to do the summoning in my head. So it's 450 pages. A letter appears twice. Something blue on the car. Oh, started at night. And I did start this at like 1 o'clock in the morning. So that counts as starting it when it's nighttime. So there is that. Then I ended up picking kind of randomly. I was just like, I had a prompt where it was like, pick up like the first random book you see or something. That was one of the Magical Readathon extra class prompts that I didn't have something set aside for. So I was looking through prompts in Magical Readathon to see what book I could pick up that could count for an extra class, because most of my other classes already had things allocated to them for what I had to read for my character. And one of the options was for demonology, and I wanted to do the demonology ordinary because I did the Impling summoning, which is like connected to the demonology class, but you don't have to take a demonology class, you could just do the summoning. But I wanted to do the demonology class just for fun. And so the ordinary level for that is Introduction to Low Level Demons, and that's read the first book you see. So what I did is I opened my Kindle and I did the first book I have checked out on KU that I see. So it's recently been opened, it's recently been downloaded, whatever that was. And that was Luna Cursed by Alessa Thorne, which I must have meant to pick it up because it's not the most recent KU book I've downloaded. But I must have wanted to read it soon, and then I had to read something else that wasn't on KU, and so that was the first KU book I saw. This is the final book in the Ironwood series, book 4. I've been like waiting for a rainy day for this, but this was just what I needed to help me push to finish the month strong. So I also talk about this in my 24-hour reading vlog, but this is Sierra and Tor's book. There is a fun teaser in the epilogue for a potential spin-off series after. So the one that spun off of this that Alessa Thorne did next is The Lost Fae Kings. But I know she has whatever this other series is. That's Tor's younger sister, with her maybe being paired with, Loki's son, the wolf shifter god who, is an actual wolf who looks pretty badass in Thor Ragnarok. Just saying, if you know, you know. It might start with the letter F. Just saying. But I know she has the Great Drakes to do, whatever potential spin-off series that one might have. So there's a lot going on. But I'm willing to read any book Alessa Thorne writes. She's one of my favorite authors once again. And I was just really excited to wrap up this series. And that's what I'm going to leave it at. Oh, I should also say I gave this book 5 stars if you couldn't tell. So for Gildathon, this counted for finish a series, so that garnered me 19 points, I think, total. For the 2023 summer musical tour, also in the bonuses, I applied this to Super Junior H, which is Super Junior Happy subgroup, because Alessa Thorne's books just make me happy, and this book made me happy, and I just had to use it for that one, right? For Read This Season, I also applied this to the letter A for holiday number 3. And I believe now I only have one. After the next one we talk about, I'll have one letter left in holiday number 3. For Mini Summer of Swoon, I applied this to continue a series. For the Romance Readathon, this got me 225 points. And then, like I said, for the Magical Readathon, I applied this to the the Demonology ordinary level class as an extra class for my character. Then, because I just could not stop myself, when I finished this book, it's like Amazon recommends you to read these next. And the first one there was Dance of the Forest King, which is the start of the Lost Fae Kings spin-off series. So I downloaded it and I couldn't help myself and I immediately started this. I also talk about this in my vlog. I got through about halfway through before we came to my 24 hours, but I'm just going to leave all my talk for that book in the 24-hour vlog. So just so you are aware, this is the third and final book, although there's more than 3 books I talk about in that vlog. But this is the third book that we're talking about today that is in that vlog. I gave this one 4.5 stars. I had a lot of fun with it. For Gildathon, I used this for Stoke the Flames, which is a favorite author. For 2023 Summer Musical Tour for bonus, I applied this to the song You Are the One, which is off their first studio album, Twins. For Read the Season, I also used this for the letter A for holiday number 3. So now I only have one letter left in holiday 3. If I remember correctly, I believe it's the letter M. For Ripped Bodice Summer Bingo, I applied this to the Fae/Fairies prompt. And then for Mini Summer of Swoon, I used this for illustrated cover. For Romance Readathon, this also gave me 225 points. And then for the Magical Readathon, I applied this to an extra class. So I did lore. And the ordinary level, so the first level, there's 3 levels if you didn't know. There's ordinary, qualified, and distinguished. So I just did ordinary levels for our extra classes. And that one is Tale of the Guide, and that is a bookseller's rec. So I just counted that because technically Amazon sells books and it wrecked it to me, even though it was already on my TBR. But I used it for that one because that one kind of fit the best. So there is that. Then, with time running out on August, hi, she's like rubbing her face against me over here. So if I'm moving weird, it's because I've got a kitty getting cuddles. She's very excited. It's about 12:30. We closed early today at noon for Labor Day weekend. So she's very happy that I'm home early. When I walked in, she was hanging out on the couch and she was like, meow. Like, why are you home, Mommy? But she's very happy about it. But anyway, so I had one prompt left for Ripped Bodice Summer Bingo. And I knew, and it was Prohibition. And I had wanted to read Grave Phantoms, which is the final book in the Roaring Twenties series by Jen Bennett. This is the final book in the trilogy. And I really wanted to read it, but I wasn't sure if I would be able to push through a full-length book. So I checked what I had saved as like novella lengths. And I had Dear Julia by Romy Summer. This is the first book in her Roaring Twenties romance series. And this was like 101 pages. And it was 99 cents. And I have a bunch of like credits or whatever from delaying Amazon shipments. So it was pretty much just free for me because I used some of that credit. So I picked that up. I read it. I'm going to give this 4 stars. It was super cute. Well, it was kind of interesting that people, the reviews on it, some of them rated it like 1 or 2 stars and they were like, it was really cute, but it was a little too graphic. And there's like one sex scene in this and it was explicit, but I was like, this is really graphic as far as romance goes, but I'm like, okay. It was a little surprising, because it is 1920s in England, so it's not what you typically think for Roaring Twenties, especially in America. But I thought it was super cute. Basic premise, Rosalie is our heroine, and her father has just bought a house in the country, and she's helping kind of take the reins and renovating and setting up this house. So her father can focus on writing some big war history book. And when they tear out the old mantle for the fireplace, she finds a letter with what seems to be a ring in it that's addressed to a Julia. So she kind of sneakily gets gossip in town to figure out who Julia is, and then finds out that Julia, during the war, during 1812, she ran away with some American naval person, or no, maybe Air Force. And then kind of sneakily trying to get more information, she finds out that there was some sort of beau relationship between her and a man named William, who was in the same war as a Navy officer, and he was on the HMS Dartmouth, which was like bombed. And we hear the beginning of the book starts with a letter that I think Julia's mother wrote to Julia when she was in America after the bombing kind of happens. So since William has come back from the war, he's kind of just been a recluse. He does have some pretty bad bodily scarring, but that's it. And I was surprised that was only it for the fact that he was on something that was bombed pretty heavily. But I was like, that's okay. Not everyone can handle doing amputee stuff in historical times. But so it was this weird mix because it's still kind of, and I know it was kind of a weird mix early 1900s in Europe anyway, because we're leaving the kind of historical mindset in a lot of things, and women's rights are really kind of starting to, come into the forefront, and things are kind of starting to relax starchiness wise for noblemen and just society. And so it was this really weird kind of modern mix, but it works for me with the time period and the setting. But Rosalie ends up kind of forcing her way into William in his little reclusive house and returning the letter. And then she decides, it had a little bit of kind of like an Emma twist that, she's going to get him active in society again and, maybe try to matchmake him. And of course they fall in love. It was very quick, but it worked. And as far as novellas go, I thought this one was decent. Definitely one of the better historical romance novellas I've read of late. So I'm certainly intrigued to read more in the series. I'll have to see if my library might have them, because I think the other ones in the series are not 99 cents. So we'll see. I definitely want to read them at some point. But yeah, new author. And another author that does like 1920s historical romance, which is fun. So yeah, I'm intrigued and excited to learn more. What's the matter? I don't know if you can hear her meowing in the bedroom. Okay, so for Gildathon, I use this for the classical prompt, which is read a book with a historical setting. For Ripped Bodice Summer Bingo, like I mentioned, I use this for Prohibition, which technically Prohibition was in Americas in the 1920s, but it's the same time period, so I'm counting it. And this finished my Ripped Bodice Summer Bingo. So I finished this on August 31st, and then I immediately submitted all of my giveaway entries on Ripped Bodice. So that was fun. For 2023 summer musical tours, I applied this to the song Stay With Me, which is on their 9th studio album, Time Slip, because there is a portion at the end of the book where she is done renovating, and so her plan is to kind of go back to London with her aunt and rejoin typical society, and she wants William to ask her to stay. And obviously she does, because we get a happy ending. But then for Read the Season, I applied this to the letter R in holiday number 4. For Mini Summer of Swoon, I used this for photo cover. For Romance Readathon, this got me 175 points, which if I was thinking about it, I should have picked up more 100 to 150 historical novellas, because that is a quick read. And you can really kind of amass points quickly there, I feel like. But it's fine. It's fine. As for the Magical Readathon, I also used this for an extra class. For this one, I applied it to Alchemy, Ordinary Level, which is you're learning stone to copper. And that prompt is read the first book in a series, which this is. Then, for my last class, assigned class for Magical Readathon, I had spells and incantations. I just had to reach the ordinary level. I am a moon warden, or training to become a moon warden, if you were wondering. And what we're learning is the charm short trip, and so you had to read a manga, a comic, or a graphic novel type thing. So I checked my Hoopla, and I saw that they have some manga on there now, which is fun. And I was looking for one that had historical was historical or historical fantasy, but was also a romance. And I stumbled across Formerly the Fallen Daughter of the Duke, which I've actually heard of the web novel before, but this was then adapted from the web novel into a manga, which is crazy. So the story is by Ichibu Saki, and then the artwork is by Shirotori Ushio, which I think I've read one of her other mangas, Just the Artist, a while ago, because I saw she was marked as somebody I've read when I checked my anime list, which I haven't been on that website in forever, but that's the old website I used to use to keep track of anime episodes I've watched and all the different chapters of manga that I've read, because it's been a while since I've read manga, but we used to read it in the serialized chapters online with translated, because Tokyopop wasn't really a thing yet, and all of these official translations weren't really published yet. It was just the big ones like One Piece and Bleach, and the bigger group, and the bigger manga series, and especially in the romance. We had Shoujo Beat, and there was a couple different companies that would do the Shoujo Beat manga, but they weren't very many, and they were they would take 3 times as long to come out with the volume compared to when volumes would come out in Japan. So it's not okay to do anymore, really. But that was how we did it, is we read chapters online, weekly serialized translations. Once my Japanese got good enough, there was a lot of the times where I'd read it in Japanese, and then I'd double check with the translations later to just make sure I didn't miss anything and that I was reading things properly. So my Japanese has since completely gone downhill because I haven't been using it as often. But that's how I used to do it in the old days. So sites like My Anime List were like very, very important to keep track of chapters, because now it's volume 1 and it could have anywhere from like 3 to 5 chapters depending on length. But back then you just have to be like chapter 142. Before My Anime List became a thing, it was like very hard to remember. Like you'd be like, was I on 43 or 44? And there was definitely a lot of times where I would reread chapters and not realize it till I was like 3/4 of the way through. So anyway, I found this manga, and I was intrigued by this because, like I said, I have seen the web novel on a couple of the apps when I used to really kind of get into web novels. And this one is a story where Claire is our heroine, and it's kind of like in the manga version, so I don't know how it is in the web novel, but Claire is the eldest daughter of a duke, and this is historical fantasy set. And magic is passed down through the matriarch line. And they have, like, when you're 15, you have, like, your magic initiation, where you go to a church or a holy fountain. And when you are in the water, the spirits flash colors. And that tells you how powerful of magic you have. And when Claire did this, even though her mother and her grandmother and everybody flashed the 2 highest, silver and white, when she does it, she's light pink, which is kind of middle of the road in the color tier of power. And her father then pretty much like stops caring about her. Her brothers start kind of bullying her. She's kind of treated as nothing in the family. I mean, she's practically disowned without being actually disowned. And she has a younger sister, half-sister, who is the daughter of her father's mistress, after Claire's mother had died. And when her mother dies, her name is Charlotte, she gets taken in. And at that point, Claire's like super excited to have a little sister. She just has her brothers. And so she's like, takes it upon herself to be the older sister and protect it and just love and care and just really enjoy having a sister. But her little sister is definitely a snake. And when her little sister does her initiation, she comes out as white. So then the engagement to the crown prince is broken off with Claire. She's bullied at school. And so she can tell that things are going downhill very quickly. The crown prince is about to announce that, you know, they're dissolving the engagement with Claire, and he's going to continue this arranged marriage with Charlotte. And then we come to find out that Charlotte is basically telling everybody that her older sister has like treated her as a slave and abused her. And Claire is so hurt that she ends up deciding, I'm not going to let them throw me out. I'm going to run away. And she plans to join a convent. But while she's headed to the convent, she runs into Vic and a couple of other people. It's Dennis, Keith, and Louis. And Louis is a woman knight. And they're like, no, come with us instead. Like, we don't want you to be alone. They befriend her, and they take her down to a different country. It starts with a P. And while they're traveling there, they go through the real hometown, which people didn't know, of Claire's mother. And when she enters like a little area where that used to be where a church stood, and now it's just like a little spot where the ocean kind of comes in pools, it's still holy. And she doesn't realize it. She doesn't realize that this little island is where her mother was actually from. And she triggers with colors that have never been seen before. It's like an aurora. It's not just like bright white. or silver. I can't remember which one is the highest, but it's like full on like Northern Lights kind of situation. And everyone is like, we've never seen that before, and they think it's something else. But Vic ends up being the crown prince of this other country and is befriending her, and they're taking her home. So this is a very slow build of the romance between Vic and Claire. And I'm not sure how many, it looks like there's 5 volumes that are on Hoopla, but I don't know how many volumes there are in total. I haven't looked that up yet, but I'm definitely intrigued. It's been a while since I've read a manga. But what's really interesting in this one is Claire may or may not also be from like real world. And this storyline of Charlotte getting with the original Crown Prince is from an otome game. And that is like love story, love novel games, if you don't know that. And so Claire is hanging out with a friend who's playing it, and she's not feeling well, and so she falls asleep and she finds herself in this game. And then there's a couple points where she kind of comes out of her grogginess and she's talking to her friend, and she's like, was that a dream? Is this a dream? What's happening? So she has gotten little hints of information that she then kind of weirdly subconsciously remembers when she's in like the magical world. So it's like, but we don't know 100% which one is the right one. And I'm just like, oh, so it's super, I don't know. I'm super intrigued to see more of that dynamic. But what's interesting is because I knew it had an otome game kind of falling into the novel, falling into the video game element. But what's interesting is when Claire is listening to her friend talk, the friend is playing as Charlotte, not Claire. And Charlotte has this super hard route where you have to like befriend this person to make them throw, so you have to befriend a person and then somehow convince them to destroy a secret hidden letter from Claire's mother that tells her where her mother's actual birthplace is. And then befriend the other brother or something, and then do other things to get Claire kind of disowned so that you can then in the otome game end up with your HEA with this crown prince. And so you have to do all these things to like get the best ending on the hard level with this crown prince dude in the game. So I think it's very interesting that Claire is almost coming in as the villainess in this game, or in this specific storyline in the game, and she's not like who you are playing as in the game. So I don't know, it's very intriguing. I'm excited to read more from it. But yeah, so we'll see. It's a good quick read. I read manga very quickly. I know a lot of people do, but yeah, so there's the basic premise. Things are just kind of getting set up. So yeah, I definitely, if I pick up volume 2 soon, it won't probably have as much stuff to talk about, but I wanted to set it up because I think it's interesting. And if you are interested in like a lighter manga, or you're interested in getting to like read manga for the first time, I think this might be a good one coming from fantasy or historical romance readers, because it's not too convoluted. But I'm having fun so far. I gave volume 1 4 stars. As for challenges that I applied it to, for Gildathon, I used this for new composition, which is read a new to you author. For 2023 Summer Musical Tour, I applied this to Reset, the song Reset. That's from Sorry Sorry, which is their 3rd studio album. And the like hook in Reset is press the reset. And when you play video games, you know, you can reset the game. So that's what made me think of that. So it's a little bit of a stretch, but it works. For Read This Season, holiday number 4, I use this for the letter I. For Mini Summer of Swoon, I ended up moving On the Edge by Alona Andrews to Author You Love. And then I applied this one to a romance where there's travel. Because we get traveling to different worlds, plus we get actual like traveling between countries and stuff. For Romance Readathon, this also counted for 175 points. However, it needed to be 2-page longers to count for 275 points, but it's fine. Then for Magical Readathon, like I said, this was for my last assigned class, which was Spells and Incantations, Ordinary Level, Charm, Short Trip, and this is a manga. So there is that. And then I did want to mention, as I was rounding out my Magical Readathon stuff, for Never by Aurora Rose Reynolds, I ended up applying that to the Art of Illusion Ordinary Level for Levitation Spell, which is Read Without Touching the Ground. And I read this book when I was either stretched out on the couch or in bed, so my feet were not on the ground. So I kept my notes from Magical Readathon just so I can just let you know that in case you were wondering. As for... Oh, and then the other one I had was The Upside of Being Single by Emma Hart. I applied that to the bonus side quest that was thrown in to feed the library cats, and the prompt for that was a title with the letters S and P. So that one worked for that as well. As for the opportunities and qualifications that you could get for Magical Readathon, I had already finished Apothecary Keeper, so that was an opportunity I finished. Then also last night, August 31st, I checked out on Hoopla the first episode for Modern Dinosaurs, which is a New Zealand-based animal documentary series where they're talking about animals that have had very minimal very minimal evolution since the era of the dinosaurs. Episode 1 did talk about Australian crocodiles a little bit, and a couple other reptiles, but the main one that this episode 1 focused on was the tuatara, which kind of looks like an iguana lizard type thing, but I guess its insides are completely different, and it has like a third eye, and it has like these kind of spines that are like mini stegosaurus plates down its back. And one of the like park rangers who was like, go ahead and touch it, and she was like, every time we're measuring them and trying to reintroduce them and bring them from the brink of extinction, she's like, every time I touch one, I feel like I'm touching a mini stegosaurus. And I was like, I need to touch this lizard because stegosaurus is my dinosaur. So I got super excited about that. But they are super cute, so I highly recommend it. I know at least season 1 is available on Hoopla, so it's called Modern Dinosaurs. And I'll show you. That is the like tuatara. Isn't he cute? I'm not a big reptile person, but he's so cute. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. So that was the non-bookish reading prompt for the opportunity to be a bog cataloger. So I got both opportunities done. So the only like extras that were for the autumn equinox I didn't do is the dragon riding license and the sand ship engineer certification. And those are both qualifications. So my plan is to do the dragon riding license in September. And then, depending on what's going on with like Halloween readathons, either do the sand ship engineer certification in October or do that maybe in November. But I want to get them both done before the end of the year or even before December, when we might have another like winter solstice based readathon that G did last year. So there is that for book news. Also, I don't know what I'm going to pick up later tonight. It's September 1st. Like I said, I don't know what I'm going to pick up. I did just have 2 books earlier today pop on my Libby that I had on hold. I have the ebook for Secretly Yours by Tessa Bailey. And then I got the audiobook for Aragon finally, so I might read Aragon, but I have some projects I'd like to get going on. I need to do my to-do list for this long weekend, so maybe I'll do Aragon first, but I have some things I would like to read this weekend. I also want to try to get a jump ahead on some of my book club books to get those just taken care of, so we'll see what I pick up later tonight, but don't know what it is yet, but I have some options. Before we do the quest calendar, I do want to say, when I was at my brother's, for some reason a package was sent to them, and I was like, that's really weird, to their house for me. It was forwarded from my previous location to them, even though that address forwarding was canceled and it was supposed to go from my previous place to here. But for some reason, they didn't get the cancellation there. So I don't know what happened. My receipt shows that it should have been mailed to my work because who knows. But I finally got a Kickstarter game that I backed back in 2019. And it's finally here. And I'm super excited for it. So it is our case. I'm super excited for it. This is the Kickstarter sleeve on it. It is like an Egyptian-based archaeology dungeon crawler, which is super fun. And it has these little, when you're going through like a dungeon scenario, it's all set in episode format, so it's kind of legacy-based. But it has like these little blocks, and there's like 1 zone, 2 zone, and 4 zone ones. And it has these little plastic doors that you can put in between. So it's like more 3D. It definitely has some minis, but I feel like compared to other miniature-based games, this is mini light. But I am super excited to play it. One of my goals is to kind of clean up some more boxes. I did get rid of 3 more boxes this past weekend. So my goal is I want to try to do a lot more. And for the Christmas boxes, I'm waiting. My sister told me after the Halloween sales at Home Depot, they have their like garage storage sale, and Rubbermaid tins go on sale. Alexa, dismiss.
Lydia.
Alexa, dismiss. She's talking to me. But like the Rubbermaid storage bins go on sale like super duper cheap. And so I was just like, okay, cool. So I have some nicer boxes set aside that I can put stuff in. But I might just wait until those go on sale and then get some, and then transfer everything into rubber bins. And then I can just try to start having, or plastic bins, not rubber bins, but I typically get the Rubbermaid brand from Walmart, which is why I keep saying that. But anyway, I want to get this set up because I really want to play it. So yeah, I got the Kickstarter edition. I didn't get all of the deluxe stuff, but I did get the 3 extras. This comes with, I think, 6 episodes. And there's also a 0.0, but then I also got the Sphinx episode, which I think is 6.5. I don't know. There's a bunch of 0.5s to like add more to the story. This is Jewel of the Cult. So this, and then this unlocks an extra playable character, which is super fun. I think this is 0.5, and then the tutorial is 0.0, so you don't have to read a rule book. It teaches you how to play going through like a tutorial dungeon crawl, which is super cool. And then I got the Sandworm expansion, so the Threat Beneath. So this is all the expansions. I cannot wait to see what more game mechanical minded people on Board Game Geek do in creating like more scenarios. There is a free play mode in this, but it seems like it's just kind of random different dungeons. But I'm excited to see like other people come up with like their own created campaigns and storylines that you can play with. And use cards that are in here to like play different storylines, which is super cool. So I'm super excited. I did, because there's like stickers and they're supposed to be removable, but they're weird. I did get a reset kit because you're supposed to put stickers in your expedition logbook and in your archives book, but they also gave out PDFs. So what I might do is, when I get stickers, is take pictures or scan them and just create a digital version, and then I won't ruin my books. But maybe because I do have a reset book, maybe I will. I don't know. I've seen some people laminating stickers so then they can just like paper clip them in or something, so then they're more easily removable kind of a situation. So I don't know. I'll have to figure it out. I also want to try to kind of mess with some of the inserts to see if I can get all of the expansions held in one. The inserts aren't the greatest, but I'm excited it's finally here, because like I said, it was like September-ish 2019 that I backed this, and obviously pandemic put things back, and every time that things were lengthened on the factory side, they were like, we're going to take this time to better increase gameplay mechanics and things like that. So it seems like simple to learn, but pretty hard to beat, because I guess you do kind of get beat up a lot as characters by different monsters and stuff. But I'm super excited to play it. You can play it solo, playing as multiple characters. I think my sister would really love it. We both love Egypt and archaeology stuff. Speaking of, the newest season of Lost Treasures of Egypt dropped on Disney Plus in the National Geographic section. So I've been watching that, and that has some of my favorite archaeologists that I like to follow, which is weird to say, but we've always been a big history archaeology family. My mom had a bunch of Egypt like coffee table books. We always went to every single like big thing that the Denver National History Museum would have, especially all of the big touring Egyptian shows. My sister went to college to be a anthropologist. I want to say forensic anthropologist. She's super into bones. So kind of like what Bones does on the TV show Bones. But she wants to do more of like the research side, not like solving murders or whatever like that show. But instead now she's like a super duper high manager at Home Depot. But life sends you in weird stuff. But so we've always been into like history as a family, especially like my sister, my mom, and me. So I think we both will enjoy that a lot. Plus, I feel like my sister is more willing to join a campaign than maybe my brother and his girlfriend, and to kind of plan to play it somewhat regularly, even if it's just like once a month or something like that. So anyway, I'm super excited about that, as you can tell. I also got the playmat, which is fun. And then I think this was like a unlock or something like that, but I got the Arcase dice bag, which is really big, and I will say I dislike their pull cords are on the inside for this, and I feel like they should have been on the outside, but whatever. And then it did also come with 2 of the deluxe versions of dice. I did not get, I think it might have just been an add-on, but I didn't get the metal coins, which I'm a little bummed out about, because they look super cool in some of the unboxings I've seen online, but that's fine. I can always get metal coins later that they won't have the exact same artwork, but I'm sure I can find Egyptian inspired metal coins somewhere online for Geek Up Bits. Okay, so there is that. I'm going to stop rambling at you about Arcase because I'm super excited, as you can tell, but I could probably talk about more of it. I wasn't going to do an unboxing. I just wanted to show you that I got it and I love it and I'm super excited. So now we're going to play a game together. And we are going to do my quest calendar. So we have 7 days. Hopefully this won't take, technically it's 6. Saturdays and Sundays are combined, but we'll do my little blurb here before we start playing. So I have been playing the 2023 Quest Calendar. This is created by Sundial Games. Fun fact, they are a Colorado-based company. The 2023 theme is the Void Spark Chronicles. This is sci-fi space opera set. So think Star Wars, Star Trek, Battlestar Galactica, Firefly, you know the drill. I have a lot of fun playing this game. I will have them linked down below. I'll also link Arcase's website down below as well if you want to learn more about Ankama, who is the creator of it or the company of it. But anyway, back to quest calendars. I do play with the deluxe hero companion book. I highly recommend it if you want to play. They have done some upgrades to the book for 2023 that I really like. It's now in landscape format. It comes with reusable stickers for your ship and your equipment upgrades, which is super great. But speaking of, here's our ship, the Karnak. This is where we are a member, a crew member. Although we might be potentially the new interim captain because our captain was just kind of taken hostage. And then this is the character that we have been playing as Zarilla Tur. She is Urzin and our class is Mystic. And we just hit level 5. You do just get to level 6, which is the max level in this book. What's also great about this is if you play one of the pre-generated characters, it has all the basic level up stuff in here for you. So you don't have to worry about completely changing your character sheet every time you level up, which is great. So we're just going to jump right into it. Like I said, our captain was just captured. And we are trying to save the young boy who is in our charge, Maddox, and he is the son of Andy, who is captured by the Zorian Empire, and we were on our way to save him, and now they're after her son. So we're trying to track down and save Andy. We're trying to keep her son safe from the Zorian Empire, and we had to crash land our ship on this planet. So I think our first couple days here is going to be spent trying to repair our ship so we can get back to some space travel. So we'll do a brief rundown of the page layout and then we will go from there. So here is where we left off last Friday. Most pages will have a full page of art. Anything that's like the script type font, that is the story. As you can see, here is our mechanics of how we are playing through the story for the day. This will be block style font and usually in a box. If it's a combat page, it will also be in a shadowed box. And it will be more like table style, showing you how many either rounds for a character or how many different creatures and what type of rolls you'll have to make. So there's where we left off on Friday. Let's just jump into it. Like I said, Saturdays and Sundays are combined. So okay, looks like we made it into town to potentially get some parts to fix our ship. All right, you are greeted by 2 thugs brandishing weapons when you enter the city. One is yelling in a language you don't understand, while the other shouts, "Hand over all your credits." So A, talk them out of making this mistake. B, scare them into running away. And C, give them 4 credits. So I'm going to do option A, talk them out of making this mistake. Okay. All right, so let's see if we get more information. We do not. So this is a charisma roll, reminder persuasive. So our charisma is a +2. So I will roll our D20. And I have my dice tray over here. So that is a 14 +2. So 16 total. Okay, if the result is 15 or more, the thugs withdraw their weapons and apologize. Oh, we got him to apologize. Crazy. Alrighty, so the other thing that we have left to do is right here, Sunday lottery. If we have the choice when we play our weekend page, we can roll a D6, so your normal die. If we roll a 1 or a 2, we lose a little bit of money. If we roll a 3 or higher, we gain a little bit of money. So I will roll it because the odds are in our favor, and of course it's a 1. So we will lose 2 credits. So I'm going to make a note. Where is... All right, I'm just going to keep track over here of what we're gaining and losing, and then I'll erase it all later when we get a final total. Okay, so there are the 2 thugs, and we're good. I probably should have just given them the credits because we have way too many credits anyway, but it's fine. We'll move on. Okay, so we are on a new city. So this is the city Rustboro on the planet Abramia. So this city doesn't seem as friendly or safe to travel in as most of the other large cities across the galaxy. So we are exploring the city of Rustboro today. Okay, if your virtue is 4 or more, increase the price of any items you buy by 2 credits. Okay, I guess they take advantage of us, or we just feel bad for them and give them more money, maybe. All right. Places we can visit: raise, rest, and recharge. A large flamboyant Hexian alien by the name of Ray welcomes you to his place as you enter. Hey, you looking for a place to get fixed up and take a break from the stress of the street life? Ray's is the place. I've got the latest in regen pod technology. You can get a standard room for 3 credits, but for 3 more credits, you get to try the new Regen 3000. What do you say? So this is going to allow us to take a rest. We don't really need to take a rest. We don't have really any damage, and we haven't really used any of our once until you rest abilities, so I don't think we need to take a rest. Next is Beatty's Best Bistro. Beatty's Best Bistro. A female frosk alien is happily cooking away and stirring a pot when you enter. She looks a lot like Nayli, your pilot. She's singing in a language you don't recognize and doesn't stop, even to accept payment for the food you buy. So she's offering meal rations for 1 credit usually, but for us they are 3 credits. And we are down in our meal rations, so I will buy 2 more. So that will be 6 credits. So I'm just going to make a note, minus 6 credits. We have over 400 credits. So I'm just going to make a note and do a big total at the end of this. And then the final place we can visit is Mandabar's Medicinal Magic. A thin Gavanite alien covered in carapace limps over to you. His leg has been replaced with a cybernetic enhancement. You want the best in medical enhancements? Trust me, you don't want to lose your leg in a battle like I did. So this is a bunch of the RX to basically add a D4 to any of our base stats. I'm not going to worry about it. I don't really use things like that. I just let the chips fall where they do. So, or the dice, I guess, technically. So we're just not going to buy anything from that last place. And that is the only places we can visit in the city as of now. So let's see what Tuesday brought. Okay, yep, we've got a job board. That's pretty normal for each city that we visit. So even a city full of crime has people in need of the occasional odd job. Just be careful that these aren't scams. You may take on all the jobs if you wish. So fortune teller needed, cybernetic systems equation, and rodent problem. Okay, so fortune teller needed. A prominent politician is hosting a themed party and wants an authentic fortune teller to attend. So this is a charisma reminder arcane adept. So we do have arcane adept and our charisma is +2. So we get a total of +4 to this roll. All right, so that is a 14 again. Crazy. All right, so 18 total. If the result is 15 or more, you look and dress the part for the job. You even impress people with your ability to read and convey their fortunes. You are tipped for your work and get paid 11 credits. Wow, that's a lot. Okay, next, cybernetic systems equation. Dr. Bintowski has posted an unsolved equation dealing with the strain of cybernetics on organic life forms. He's offered a reward to anyone who can solve it. So this is intellect, reminder, student, and computers. So our intellect is a +1. We do have student and we do have computers. So we get 2 for each of those. So a total of +5. And that is a 16. So 21 total. If your result is 18 or more, after looking over the equation for only a brief time, you spot several issues and quickly get to work resolving them. Not only do you solve Dr. Butowski's equation, you fix several problems that could have arisen down the road by altering it slightly and making it more efficient. Gain 13 credits. Holy cow. All right, so we have one more rodent problem, but I am dying, so I'm going to get a charger and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. Let us pick up where we left off. So, for rodent problem, a large vegetarian grocery chain has an infestation of rodents of a common ship variety that you are accustomed to seeing in your travels. They insist you get rid of them in a humane way so you don't taint their ethical image. Okay, so this is Constitution Roll Reminder. Animal Tamer, we do have Animal Tamer. And our Constitution is a 2. So total of +4 to our roll. Okay, that is a 17, so 21 total. You are careful and able to round up the rodents without harming them. You are paid 8 credits, and that was for 15 or more. So perfect. All right, I will set dice aside. So for this page, we get a total of 11, so 19. All right, so 32 credits plus 32. That was a lot. Okay. Alrighty, so those were the 3 jobs on the job board. Let us move on to what Wednesday brought. Ooh, okay. He looks friendly. This is a friendly alien. You enter the shipyard to find the sales associate Dermy at the counter. We sell ships, ship parts, installation service, and air fresheners. What can I do for you today? So we've got 1A and 1B. 1A is persuade him to give you a deal, which is charisma, reminder, persuasive. And 1B is threaten him to give you the parts you need. We're not going to be doing that. And then 2 is buy any in-stock items. So let us see. If you have repair list noted down from an earlier page, we do. Hey, this parts list is quite impressive. You have the part names, codes, and serial numbers. It seems like you know what you were looking for. It is always great to see a ship aficionado like myself. Let me tell you, as someone who works in a repair shop, model and serial numbers for everything, we've had to make a sign. I had to make a sign, and we put it on our front door that's like, we cannot help you if you do not have your information. I mean, we still can, but it just makes things so much harder. And then you might be getting the wrong part, and it's a whole thing. Anyway, gain +3 bonus on your rolls for the page. So perfect. All right, so we've got some narrative first. Oh, it seems like you need a Void Spark class directional recoiler. Void Spark engines are rare. I'm surprised you have one. The part you need to fix your ship is even rarer. The good news is I have it. I'm the only place on the planet where you can get that. The bad news is it's already claimed by the Gearhorn gang. They run a protection racket around here, and I will not get on their bad side. But if they no longer had an operation running, then there wouldn't be a problem, if you know what I'm saying. Honestly, that could help a lot of people in the city. They've been allowed to exploit the people for way too long. Alrighty, we're gonna go on our good person. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Our good person, like, hero act to be able to get our ship parts. So we're gonna, like I said, persuade him to give you a deal. So this is charisma roll, reminder, persuasive. Alrighty, so just straight charisma. Okay. And 18. Heck yeah. So 20 total. If the result is 11 or more, well, it is very pleasant to be working with someone who isn't going to threaten to remove my innards. Reduce the price of any items you want to buy. Note down shipyard discount somewhere for future use. Okay, perfect. So buy any in-stock items. They have ship parts and they have a repair kit. Oh, I didn't even do my +3, but we got it. We're good. So we do have 2 repair kits and we have 19 parts. So I don't think we need any more ship parts. I'm half tempted to get a repair kit just for fun to get us up to 3. I mean, we have, you know what, I'm going to get 3 of them because why not? We'll get 5. And then I'll get 1 ship parts to get us to an even 20 because why not? So that will be 23 credits. Oh, I guess we get a discount. So 23 credits, but I'm buying 4 items, so 19 credits. Okay, so minus 19, and then this is up to 20, and then this is up to 5. Okay. So there is that. So it sounds like it's not going to be as easy as just buying some parts. We're going to have to do some heroism in this town. So there's our friendly ship's parts seller. Alrighty. Ooh. I don't know what that is, but that is creepy looking. It's an eyeball and a thing with some weird gooey mush that's its body with maybe some tentacles as well. Fun. There's an open market in a seedy part of the town that sells all types of food. It is the best place to gather information about the Gearhorn gang. Okay, so 1 is what do you know about the local cuisine, and 2 is chat up the locals to gather information. Fun. Okay. All right, 1, what do you know about the local cuisine? If you are going to talk to the locals without coming off as suspicious, you will need a safe topic. There are lots of food stalls with what you think are meats, vegetables, and spices from local farmers. What do you know about the local culinary arts? So intellect, reminder, student, and once again, we do have student. So we get a total of +3. And that is a 14, so 17 total. Let us see. If the result is 15 or more, you are well versed in the local diets, nutrition, and cooking styles to have some engaging conversations as you secretly extract info about the Gearhorns. Gain a +2 bonus to chat with the locals, number 2 below. Alrighty. So, chat up the locals to gather information. Charisma, reminder, investigator. So, we do have investigator. Our charisma is a +2, and we get our +2 bonus. So, we get a +6 to our roll, which is great. So, all right, let us see. Good roll, good roll. Okay, that is a 7. So, let me see. So, we got a +6. So, we are at 13. You know, I'm going to let's see. Let's see what our result is before I decide if I want to re-roll. Okay. If the result is between 8 and 14... Oh, okay. Hold up. There's different things happening. Okay. If the result is between 8 and 14, so we are at 13. In order to keep the conversation going, you agree to try a sample of strange-looking food that might be safe. But you are unsure. So now we make a Constitution danger sense roll. So we do have danger sense, so we have a +4. Okay, and that is a 10, so we are at 14. If the result is 14 or more, nice. I was worried it would be 15. The result it was quite tasty. Restore 1 health. Okay, we don't have any damage, so we're okay. But that is where we are at for there. You discover the smaller gangs fought for power after the fall of the Zorian Empire when the local law enforcement was removed. A leader emerged by the name of Jabari. He gained favor when he took over protections amongst the merchants and quickly merged the groups into a single organization. They installed their own laws with the help of the unwilling mayor that is in their pocket. They don't like visitors to the planet, and you are at risk the longer you stay here. They might come looking for you. Well, that's good, because we're also looking for them. Hey. Okay, cool. So, that was Thursdays. We are catching up quick. We only have one more day left. So here's today's September 1st. Oop, and we are getting another gun in our face. This dude looks like a smarmy, cocky alien dude. That's the vibes I'm getting from him. And it looks like... Okay, yeah, and it looks like these are his friends. This dude is a little too happy to be pulling whatever sword thing he's got. This guy is just like smiling in the back, but I don't see him having a weapon, but he's got weird tentacles. This dude you can't tell because he's got a big gun and a face mask, but this dude is smarmy as get out. I don't like the look on his face. All right. It doesn't take long before you are confronted by some ruffians in the market. We heard you've been asking questions about something that's none of your business. Jabari told us to take care of you. You get no warning. Okay, so we have 4 ruffians. We are fighting, attack, and damage for each. All right, so we are finishing off this quest calendar week with some battles. So let's just jump right into it. So ruffian number 1, straight attack. We have a +8. Alrighty, and that is a natural 1. So we will be using time step, which allows us to re-roll 1 roll per page. Alrighty, we can't do worse, literally. Alright, so that is a 9. So we are at a +8, so 17 to hit. If your attack roll is 17 or more, just barely, you hit the enemy. All right, so now we will roll damage, and this is 3d10 plus 3. All right, so 8, 9, 10, 11 plus 3, so 14 damage. All right, if you hit and your damage roll is 12 or more, ruffian number 1 dies. All right. Number 1, dead. I'm hoping it's the smarmy dude with his gun in our face. Okay, ruffian number 2. We're going to say this is the big burly guy with the face mask and the ginormous gun. All right, and that is a 12, so that is 20 to hit. Ruffian number 2 needed 18 or more. So damage on ruffian number 2. That is 4, 11... and 18 plus 3, so 21 damage. All right, ruffian number 2 needed 11 or more damage. Big burly guy is dead. Ruffian number 3 will do the happy sword guy because, you know, we have pictures. I don't even know if these are who they are. We're just going to call him ruffian number 3. All right, so attack roll is a 19, so we are at 27 on that one. Ruffian number 3, we needed an 18 or more to hit, so he is hit. Let's see damage. That is 19. Wow, that is a high roll. And another 9. Whoa, alrighty, there we go. So 28 plus 3, we've got over 30 damage on him. And we just needed 10 or more. We have thrice killed ruffian number 3. Keep that sword on your back there, dude. All right, and then our final one, we'll do the, like, happy tentacle dude in the back. We will count him as ruffian number 4. And that is a 13 on the die. Once again, we are at a +8. So 21 to hit. And this one is 17 or more. You hit. Perfect. So damage on ruffian number 4 is 10... and 19 plus 3, so 22 damage. All right. So we needed 12 or more damage to kill ruffian number 4. So all 4 are dead. So collect 1 credit for each enemy you killed. You notice an onlooker dressed as one of the gang members hiding behind a corner of an alley. She tries to slip away unseen, but you watch as she leaves the city and heads out to the surrounding forest. All right, well, maybe we'll be able to try to track her down and find the stronghold. We will see. I will get my credits all added up and all the other information added to my character sheet. And yeah, so that's it for week 35, all in one day. You know, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. I had a lot to talk about books, but I really pushed on reading because I ended August with 11 books, and typically I'm over 20, so it'll be a super short wrap up for sure. But anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to leave me a comment down below, leave me something that makes you think of Egypt, like desert pyramids, or even board game, because I'm super excited about Arceus. And I definitely, when I get a chance to play, I'll try to do some like B-roll clip or something like that for it, because I can't wait to get it set up and look at it. It's going to be super fun. But otherwise, let me know what your favorite new board game that you've seen, if you're into board games. And if you're not, that's fine. Just let me know something new, other hobby-wise, whether it's reading or other non-reading stuff that you've been super interested in. Let me know what's something new that has come out recently that you're excited for. Otherwise, yeah, I think that's it. I just was like, wait, was there something else? But there wasn't. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you all soon with another video.